Oh well, that chat over 'em. Let's play the final arena. Underground arena, that is.
Seth saying could always be Iasmat from Final Fantasy, which used to take actual hours to kill, and you could even leave the arena to stock up and come back.
Boy.
Yeah, the Iasmat had something like 30 life bars, and each one was something like 10 or 50,000 HP. You were meant to go back and forth and take that out over 5-10 hours.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah, that's like a design choice. I don't like it, but I understand it.
Yeah,
I don't understand the 20-minute boss fight in this game.
That was them basically going, okay, this isn't enough like an MMO, let's go further. Because it was in Final Fantasy 12.
Ah.
I need to go back and finish that properly. It's one of the few mainline Final Fantasies I've never actually finished, mainly because every time I play it, I get bored.
Yep, I've never touched any of the Final Fantasies.
It's funny how every time a new game comes out, everyone says it's the worst one ever, and then promptly goes back and reevaluates the previous worst ever and being like, it's not that bad. It's happened every time from Final Fantasy IX onwards. And these days, 9 is considered one of the high marks of the series.
Glorious.
Still no one saying anything good about 13, but so that just kind of says it all about that piece of shit.
We didn't see it in the Antonius boss fight, but if you get a grand mace, which is something that can randomly come out of the boxes, you can't swing it. It's too slow. What you have to do is every time he opens himself up to attack, you throw the mace at him. And it breaks much, much faster, but you deal a lot of damage that way.
Just turn it into a carnival attraction.
Basically, yeah. It's very silly.
See, that's if you're going to do that in a video, that's where you add in comedy clonk noises.
I will use that. Come to think of it, we are going to have another step to this arena, of course. Let's get our salvos up. If at all possible. Eat this bread, I guess. The last bite of it.
Just at the point where there's only like one use of it left, I'm just picturing him going, crumbs.
Delicious crumbs. No, you don't. Fuckers.
Mine.
I'll make this one count. That'll do.
Good enough.
Yep. Oh, that flesh attack didn't count.
Because he blocked it?
Better. Yeah. Boy. Here we go. Almost had him pressed up against the wall, which is nice.
Press time.
That really should be one of the salvos.
Just picturing someone buying it for their kid, the kid being like, what's press time mean? Ask your mother, dear.
There are a fuckload of salvos we never got to.
Oh, yeah. Generally, like, most of them you'll see, but there's a lot of unique ones for the boss fights in particular. There's some, like, especially the item combos. Those ones well, picked up purely by luck.
Yeah, they're counterintuitive. Like, there's no explanation for what they are. You just have to be a Roman history scholar.
Basically, yeah. It's like, hey, I happen to have a very, very, very distinct interest in the classes of gladiator, so I'm going to put them all in.
Yeah, basically.
Except for the guys with the nets, because for some reason there's no nets in this game.
Capcom researched one thing, and they wanted to make sure you knew it. As the player.
Just reminds me of there's a bit in Firefly where the characters are trying to break into a hospital, and they keep trying to get one of the characters to remember this one line of dialogue. Literally all he has to say in case he's asked. And he's struggling with it, and throughout the training montage he's just not getting it right, till he does. And then when they get to the hospital, they just wave through, and he just gets this really upset look in his face and goes, "The patient presented with blah 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 blah." And the guy at the door is like, "I literally could not give less of a fuck. Go in."
I say, "Hello, Mr. Thompson. Press down on your foot."
"Hello, Mr. Thompson. Press."
I think he's talking to you. There we go. I'm an expert.
I'm at Maximus Decimus Meridius. Teehee.
I would have loved to see like what more stuff they would have done in the sequel to this game, what more sadistic things they would have crammed into arenas.
If Dead Rising was, depending on how much they took from this, I could have seen it going into more open-worldy, almost Muso-style arenas, but with the same level of destruction, basically.
Yeah. And this was at risk of being a next-generation game, so that would have been pretty cool. The sequel would have been, potentially, from the future.
Yep.
I remember this one.
I think I probably mentioned it before, but I could easily have seen it being a game where, like, you can literally cut off wrists, mid-arm, forearm, bicep, shoulder. Just really that kind of belaying of every enemy in the game.
Yeah.
And then, them having to change up their attack patterns because, well, I'm down a leg now.
Yeah, you could do that in Nightmare Creatures, but it wasn't nearly as satisfying. Because it was monsters.
Nightmare Creatures was unique.
Yeah, in many ways. That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
So, you remember the level where they only threw in fire?
Yes.
This level, they only throw in roses. Nothing but roses. There was a sale down to the florist. That's all we have to fight with.
So just building up your salvos until you can cash them in for a decent weapon?
Precisely.
And that's an interesting way of doing a fight.
It is. It's unique. Nothing else like it in the game.
Because the enemy, bare fist attacks don't do too much damage to begin with.
Yeah.
So, once a weapon gets thrown into the arena, it's a mad scramble to get hold of it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's either something that could go really quickly or just be really irritating.
Yep. For the most part, it is actually pretty fun and cool. As silly-ass gimmicks go, this one works more than it doesn't.
It works better than some of the other gimmicks that we've seen, the team fights.
That's for sure.
Fun.
Everything works better than those. The AI in this game isn't even that bad, but when it's on your team, it just shuts off. Goes to sleep. Keep grinding salvos.
You're going to crack 50,000 before this fight is even over.
Good. Sharing the wealth.
There we go.
Yep.
Wouldn't have benefited them much anyway. He doesn't have any arms left.
Exactly. He's got nothing left.
Okay, that one went quicker than I was expecting to.
Yep. Considering the gimmick, it was pretty fun. I honestly thought there was going to be another wave. That's why I didn't kill him outright as quickly as I could have. Nothing but large opponents. We are an expert, though. I think we can handle them. Unless they start us with no weapons. I'm seeing several weapons.
Regular Gladius and... oh dear.
Yeah, they do have a bit of a halberd on their side.
That's not good.
Ah. So what you gotta do is get the sub-main Supra, because that's worth a ridiculous amount of salvos. And eventually, just keep doing that until you build enough for your own halberd. I think it's halberds in this arena. I hope it's a Magnus. We haven't seen a Magnus in way too long.
Yeah, that's kind of weird now you mention it.
Yeah, I miss the damn things.
Only ever been blunt weapons that we've got with the occasional trident.
Yep. How did nobody get dusted by my quicksand? Oh well. Guess I should prioritize the halberd guy. Their charge can hit one another, so that's a good thing. Friendly fire is enabled.
Always fun.
Yep. This guy's doing his dance. I'll take a meat. So this one is actually just a test of skill.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't had many actual hit-and-runny kind of stages. Most of them you've been able to, at the very least, get a decent weapon pretty quickly.
Yeah. But right now the only decent weapon is held by a big jerk. I can't believe this guy's Gladius thoughts are broken. There it is.
There we go.
Yep. Too slow, big guy.
Oh, come on. How can you hit the guy right in front of you?
Seriously, he was blocking, but he shouldn't have been able to block. That attack was too strong. That's the game's assessment.
And the judges come back with their final score of nadu.
Your score of what just happened?
Just holds up a scorecard saying, bruh.
It's weird. Sometimes you pick up an item immediately, and sometimes it takes like a really long time.
I mean, even in Dead Rising, what item you picked, if there was like 2 or 3 on the floor, what item you picked up was hit or miss. Like, you could be standing over one item, highlighting it, but because you move forward a fraction of an inch, you pick up something completely different, which can literally be the difference between life and death.
Yep, they didn't figure that out after this game. How serious an issue it is.
I mean, it's still something you see in games today.
Yeah.
It's like at what point does the game take over and decide, okay, this is what they're going for?
Ugh, this guy. Big guys team up well.
Hmm.
That's the big pain about them.
Yeah, you would expect them to work better with the dwarves or the women
Yeah, seriously.
rather than together.
I know.
They just turn into an invincible meatball.
Big plus big equals very big.
Especially when they have any kind of weapon with area of effect, like the ball and chain.
Yeah. That was lucky. I really should have gotten hit by the flail.
Yeah.
There I go. With a ridiculously fast maul attack.
Warp speed in that bitch.
Yep. I suppose he's big enough. If anyone else had done it, I would have called bullshit. Hey, where's my shield? Shields never normally fall off. Now I got a fat guy standing.
Yeah, it's over by the mace.
I know where it is. It's in my save state.
Hey! Just like magic.
Yeah, that was like a 1 in a million chance for the shield to fall off. Having that as the first thing that happens is worth a reroll.
Can't even say that it's true to life because those things were literally strapped on as tight as could be.
Yeah,
Like, it was one thing that was guaranteed not to fly out of your hand.
pretty much.
Hey!
Why did they-
Multi-guard fight level.
Why did they fall over? All I did was throw dirt in their face.
You just threw it that hard.
Yep. That was the heaviest grain of sand they've ever been hit with.
It's like professional sports. They thought the referee was going to give them a penalty.
Something Supra. Gives us bread. Okay, I can't go near that guy because he's very, very fast with the halberd. Impossibly fast. Oh, these enemies are very annoying. Not the enemies themselves, just the weapons they have.
I would have thought the ball and chain would have given you the most aggravation. Simply because that's got instant effect. But
Yeah.
just strangely, it's been the halberd.
What happens is the ball and chain gets behind the halberd. So the halberd's very fast attacks cannot be interrupted because if you get anywhere near him, the ball and chain like swings through the halberd's hitbox and hits you instead. I get the halberdsman's arm off. I get his halberd. There it goes. Oh, the halberd shattered. As they're prone to do.
Little breaky.
Yeah. So he's just
Plus,
gonna
like,
wield
you
his
don't have to
arm.
worry about them stealing your weapons anymore.
Exactly. Oh, my shield broke. That'd have been a nice move otherwise. Go for risky catapults.
Nice.
Yep. Surprised it didn't get interrupted. Usually they like go berserk when you grab someone.
Yeah.
Top priority is to stop you. This poor guy. You gotta put him out of his misery.
So, he was carrying someone's arm and you broke the weapon.
Yep.
Arm just went flying in two separate pieces.
Unfortunately, this is over now, because he got my halberd. try to get it off him, but it's not going to happen. 2 halberds, and a fucking war chain.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
What we can do, if we get very lucky, is pin him up against the wall and get the war chain spinning. And that will break his arm, and then we can get it back. But they're not letting me keep my war chain. Here we go. Break the arm. Okay, he blocked it to death.
Nope.
Well, there.
Oh.
Yeah, everything they drop breaks now, so that halberd's gone.
On the plus side, if they don't get, so if you can break it, then okay, you don't get to use it, but neither do they.
Yeah, no one having it would be better than them having it. Stop dropping your goddamn weapons. He never does this, but in the expert arena, he's got the butteriest fingers in human history.
Covered in olive oil.
Yep. Now that he's
because that's very slippery too.
now that he's friends with Octavianus, he's getting slippery stuff all over the place, slipping on banana peels left and right. Rome is just a lattice of banana peels everywhere you go.
That's a ladder of chaos, more a ladder of bananas.
Yep. My first order as God Emperor is wacky mischief.
Your future ruler, I promise you, shenanigans!
I'm replacing all gladiatorial combat with the Three Stooges.
We have a new import from Italy. It's called clowns. You need to see this. This shit is off the chain.
Glad that sword phased through me there.
Lucky.
Yeah, seriously. Actually going for Browder Tails.
His armor came off sooner than his unguarded arm.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't seem fair.
All the super weapons are broken, at least. The sword's on the ground. Okay, the chainsman's going berserk. As per usual. Follow Octavianus rules. Don't swing the thing, just hurl it.
Throw for victory.
Actually, he's just going to stand there spinning, so I can just throw everything at him.
Yeah, he's basically a stationary target.
Yep. He's a melee turret.
He's one of the big spiky spinning blades from the arena.
Yep. He'll die eventually.
He is the worst dartboard.
Yep. I got a new salvo, sharpshooter, for hurling weapons for so long.
Hey!
Now they give me a super weapon.
Yep.
For cheering purposes. On to the very last arena. Expert level 4. Good variety.
That's the menagerie.
Yeah, that is a whole lot of enemies. Probably more than we've seen in a single arena thus far.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, like, the 10-minute long arenas obviously have this beat, but...
No, those ones win by default by the simple fact that they have infinite enemies.
Pretty much. What's so great about the sub-main Supra is you get the Sting attack and the Step attack salvos automatically with the sub-main Supra.
No, so it's triple.
Yeah, it's a triple combo every time you do it. So far, totally gimmickless. Just fight some guys.
I wouldn't be surprised if this one was just straight brawling.
Yeah. These underground arenas are easier than the main campaign gets. You would think for bonus arenas, it would be significantly harder.
Yeah. No, the infinite mode is basically like that. It's not quite randomly generated, but the number of enemies that you fight and how many there are, they scale up obviously, but you'll start off fighting just a couple of regular enemies, and then a few more regular enemies with bowmen, some with traps, spike traps and rotating blades, you know. It mixes it up and makes it a lot more difficult. It's one of those things where it's fun until it isn't.
I don't think we have access to it, so
yeah.
actually I'd like to show it off.
No, please don't kill me.
Nope, we got someone begging. Time to murder them. Getting close to the super
survival
weapon.
mode, you need to get silver on all normal events.
Glorious.
So, probably just easier downloading a save for it.
Yeah. Like, what I really need to do is get action replay working, but the emulator I'm using has the most arcane system for Game Shark cheats and stuff like that.
Wow.
It's like unbelievably bad. The PS1 emulator that I have, it's super easy, but this emulator, for how popular it is, nightmarishly difficult.
It's just PCSX 2 you're using, isn't it?
Yep.
See, I've never messed around with the cheat features of it, so...
So what you have to do is look up the cheats, translate them from base 10 to hexadecimal.
Oh, fuck right off there. No.
Build, code a patch, and then place it in the proper folder.
No.
Yeah.
None of that. No.
As stated,
Actually-
it's shockingly not user-friendly.
So literally every other emulator I've ever used that has cheat functionality built in has literally just been put in code, get cheat,
Yep.
done.
Yeah, I use a PS1 emulator, and like the cheats, there's a button on the emulator to download cheats, and they just immediately work and are active. Not so here.
That is lunacy.
Yep. And like some cheats, if you translate them from base 10 to hexadecimal, they are above FFFFF, which is the highest possible value,
Yeah.
which means you're not allowed to use those cheats. The emulator actually cannot use them because of the bad system they have in place.
Gonna go out on a limb and say someone wasn't thinking when they did that.
Yeah. I mean, this is what computer programming is like, so like, the people who made the emulators are used to this stuff. It's very basic for them,
Yeah.
but it's not basic for the user.
No, that's where problems come, because they always go, okay, well, you know, we've spent like 18 years working on this, so we know how it works inside and out. And to everyone else, it's just the arcane ramblings of a madman.
Basically. Computer programming in a nutshell.
But
You didn't-
I understand what these symbols mean, but not in this context. Like, I'm not going to question why you saw fit to put the zodiac symbols in your codes, but I feel the need to ask why.
We're talking about radium from Something Awful, right?
Just the Something Awful forums in general.
Yep. How many slurs can you work into your code? Let's find out.
All written in Comic Sans. And wingdings for some reason. Not quite sure what was going on there. I remember when Lotax finally relinquished ownership of it. They had a look in a code, and there was just a look at the forums code, and they were like, "Ha! No wonder we've not been able to have any decent upgrades in like 15 years."
Yeah, that thing's always been a mess.
One of the sticky posts on one of the forums going, strictly speaking, this shouldn't work. The server should just catch fire the second anyone goes near them. But
that's also computer programming. Most computer programs shouldn't work based on the text of the program.
yeah.
And yet they do.
Well, there's that old joke, 96 bugs in the code have been found, 96 bugs in the code, take one down, patch it out, 115 bugs in the code.
Good friend Magnus, back for the finale.
I think it might have been Unreal Tournament. There was some game or another. People were going through the data mining the code, and they found, I think it was either a picture of a chainsaw or a lawnmower, some kind of gardening equipment, with the note next to it saying, "We don't know we don't strictly know why, but the code refuses to run unless this emotional support chainsaw is in the folder." And people were like, "Well, that just sounds silly. Take it out." Game refuses to run. There's no reason why it needs to specifically be this one picture of a chainsaw, but for some reason it is. Like, literally any other picture will not work.
That's getting to be like the meta plot of Inscription, which I won't spoil, but Inscription gets into that if you solve the ARG, which requires you to have been sent a physical floppy disk by the developers, which only 3 people actually got.
It might take a .png of coconut, it just stopped running. That might be what I'm thinking of. I might have been conflating it with a different story, but yeah, just it's the weirdest thing.
Yep. I think we got this arena.
Yep.
Let's call it too soon. Okay, this big guy is almost uninjured. But he's friends with a big guy that has no arms, so...
Deal with one problem at a time, says I.
Sounds like a plan to me. I do wish I had gotten this game back in 2004, because I absolutely would have 100%ed it. But, no one has time for that anymore. This game has like 1,000 hours of content if you want to 100% it.
Yeah. Like I said, I basically got a copy of my friend's save, and he hadn't unlocked everything, but he'd gotten all golds on normal. Hadn't really done much in expert, but by that point there's not too much left to unlock but the cheats, and they're just really more for showing off.
Yeah, pretty much. Cheats are cheats, they don't do anything.
The cheats are just stuff like everyone dies in one attack, enemies can't block, you can see everyone's life gauge, invisible enemies in case you hate yourself more than anyone else.
Exactly the sort of thing you need when you have 100% of the game.
Yep. Enemies, weapons never break, and invincibility if you get all gold on everything.
Glorious. Well worth your time.
Yeah, like at that point you just need to stop.
Like Tony Hawk 2 has an achievement, well, in as much as Tony Hawk 2 had achievements. When you get every single gap in the game, there's a pop-up that says, wow, we didn't think this was possible. You should work at Neversoft.
Then one of the games, if you got all the gaps, just have a big thing come up saying words to the effect of, wow, you're the best. Now go outside.
Yep, definitely. Also, like, Binding of Isaac does that as well.
Yes, that's right. If you 100% that.
Stop Playing, I think, is the subtitle of many of the Platinum God achievements.
Something like that, yeah. Most of the last ones just straight out insult you for playing it so much.
Yep. King of Wrestling is our final salvo. And it's true. We are the King of Wrestling.
You are the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
If this LP series had been much more successful, I would at least figure out how to do action replay and get the secrets and stuff. Show those off in a bonus video as well, because there is a copious amount of content left here in Shadow of Rome. But we're never going to see it, because this has been a middling LP. But the people who watched it loved it, and they are right to do so. This has been incredibly fun. I'm so glad that I edited it into something people actually wanted to watch.
Yep.
And it's been very fun.
Oh yeah, I'd say this is probably the best game that we've done so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
With a big asterisk.
I would say this is a great game with a big asterisk.
Yeah. No, like the majority of this game is legitimately fun. And as I said, it's fun going back to a game that I'd played the hell out of way back when, but never actually finished.
So there we go. Shadow of Rome. Thanks for watching.